Hello everyone, welcome to Maasai Mara National Reserve. And as you may have heard, there is an ongoing project to construct the Maasai Mara International Airport. But one thing people don't know is that Maasai Mara has already airstrips that already exists, and it's so vast that it's 2 times the size of Nairobi. That's why there is over 8 airstrips. And the most famous one is the Kick Rock airstrip that is used. It's the oldest that was constructed here, and the other one is the Olkiobo airstrip. This is the busiest because it's near some of the resorts that are found here, mainly Mara Rapids, Rekero Camp, and Mara Explorer. Like, it's one of the busiest. Like, there are flights coming from Nairobi to this airstrip on a daily basis. It usually takes around 45 minutes to fly from Wilson Airport to the Maasai Mara National Park. And most of these flights are organized by the resorts that tourists are staying. And as you know, making that road trip from Nairobi to Maasai Mara, it might not be comfortable for some of the tourists who are in a hurry to visit the animals, then leave the country. And so these airstrips have been constructed to ease the movements. There is also the Musiara airstrip, the Mara North airstrip, the Gerende airstrip, the Siana airstrip, Agama airstrip. Yeah, those are very many airstrips. And mostly they are operated by domestic airlines such as Safari Link, Air Kenya, and Governors Aviation. And these airstrips don't have asphalt runways. They only have dirt and maramea runways, and this makes it dangerous, especially when the planes are landing. And another thing is that the airplanes that operate on these routes are mostly very old airplanes, but there have been few incidents of air traffic accidents, but it's one of those journeys that people look up to, because as you fly above the Mara National Park, you can see animals as you fly over it. And the peak seasons is usually between July and October during the Great Wildebeest migration. And there's a lot of flights that usually fly from Wilson to the Mara Triangle. And these are mainly from tourists, and you organize with the resort that you are staying in, and they can tell you the suitable airstrip that you should land in or the airline that you should use. One thing about Maasai Mara is those one of the great treasures of this country. As I said, it's like 2 times the size of Nairobi, and you know how the larger Nairobi county is. Yeah. And as you can see, these airstrips, they are just near the resorts and also the rivers that go across the Mara Triangle. Another thing is there are also airstrips that are owned privately. Yes, there are some private conservancies inside this reserve, and also there are some resorts that own the airstrip. So you just can't go there and land unless it's an emergency, or unless you are staying inside those resorts, and you have to pay some fees because they are privately managed, but they are also controlled by the Kenya